Hey there, what's going on YouTubers? This is Wolf King, and today I'm going to be bringing you a Kingdom Hearts discussion video. Today I'm going to be talking about the top 10 worlds in Kingdom Hearts, and I'm going to do this video in a little bit of an interesting way. I'm actually going to talk about the top 5 worlds that I want returning in Kingdom Hearts 3, and then I'm going to go into the top 5 worlds that I want in Kingdom Hearts 3 that have never been seen before in any of the other Kingdom Hearts games. They are my own ideas on what I want. So I also want to say that these are not done in any particular order. It's just things I want. I really didn't put them in any order. I'm just going to start out with number 1 to number 5. So with that being said, let's get right into it, and let's go into number 1. I would love to see the Olympus Colosseum return in Kingdom Hearts, and let's be honest, guys, this world's going to be in there. It's going to be a sure thing. It's been in almost every Kingdom Hearts game to date. It's definitely one of the coolest worlds. I love the tournaments in this world, and I love that as you go throughout the game, you actually unlock more tournaments and you get more things like spells. You get more keyblades. You get a shit ton of keyblades in this world from every game. Like if you look throughout it, you get so many keyblades, and I think my favorite one is Guardian Soul. I like the bigger versions of the keyblades, ones that actually look like swords. Those are definitely my favorite keyblades. So I just love the Olympus Colosseum, everything about it. I want to see them expand a little bit in this game because the worlds are actually supposed to be bigger in general in this game because they're going to the next system. So I want to see more. I want to see maybe like the training grounds that Hercule trained in the movies. Maybe some of the forests where he's actually facing some of the monsters. I would love to face some of those monsters that Hayes is like throwing at him in the movies. Those could be different little bosses. I just want to see it bigger in general. And I know they expanded upon the Colosseum and you went to the Underworld in Kingdom Hearts 2, which I thought was really cool. So let's expand upon that. Let's go bigger. Let's make more. And I love that in the tournaments you see so many interesting characters. Like you get to fight a lot of Final Fantasy characters, which is awesome because I love Final Fantasy characters. I loved when you got to fight Cerberus. Like that's what I'm talking about with the monster battles. The monster battle was awesome. I want to see more of that. Give me more. All right, moving on. We're going to go into number 2. And number 2 is going to be the Lion King, the Pride Lands. And the keyblade you get there is the Circle of Life. Not one of my favorites. Just throwing some facts, some knowledge out for my YouTubers. And I love that movie, all right? Lion King is one of my all-time favorite Disney movies. I'd love to see the return of Scar. Maybe Timon, Pumbaa. They made a few movies. They actually had a animated series on this movie. So I feel like there's a ton of content that they haven't went into that they could and just make it deeper. That was an awesome world. I love seeing Sora as a lion. It was just cool, man. I want to go back there. Don't we all? Right? All right, number 3, my favorite Disney movie of all time, Aladdin. I want to go back to Agrabah. The keyblade there are 3 wishes and the wishing lamp, which you get in Kingdom Hearts 2. One of the reasons why I really like this world is I like the open feel to it, you know, all the way from the desert to the palace. It's like one big layout. And I feel like in Kingdom Hearts 3, like I said, the world is supposed to be bigger, so they could expand upon that. I always felt like that world looked really awesome. You really felt like you were in Agrabah, all the little detail that went into it. It's been in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, so I'd be surprised if it didn't make a return in Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't know. They could definitely go into the third movie, which was the Thieves, where Aladdin's dad actually comes to do it. They could totally put that in there. Whatever, man. I just want to go back to Agrabah. I love it. My favorite movie. So, yeah. Moving on. Number 4, the Land of Dragons, which is the Mulan movie, for all you guys that don't know. And if you don't know, probably shouldn't be watching this video. Anyways, Land of Dragons from the Mulan. The keyblade that you get there is the Hidden Dragon, which is such a cool name. Sorry to say, but the keyblade isn't that cool. But I would love to go back there. There wasn't that much, movies made or like a TV series didn't get made off of this. I don't know really what they could do if we go back for the storyline, but I feel like that world was so awesome. I love seeing the ancient Chinese culture. I want to go there. I want to go into some type of mountain and fight a dragon. The movie itself has all these guardians. I don't know if you guys remember at the beginning of Mulan, there were all the little statues that had the gods in them and stuff. They could definitely expand on that and make write their own store for Mulan. Very doubtful they will do that, but I'd love to see the Land of Dragons make a return in Kingdom Hearts 3. Number 5, Twilight Town. A lot of you guys might be asking me, why Twilight Town, Wolf King? Why do you want to go back there? There wasn't really too much of a story. It was just kind of a starting place in Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah, it's made a little bit of an appearance in some of the other games, but what do you want there? I want to go back because I want to know what's going on with Hayner, Pence, and Olette, all right? You start out hanging out with them in Kingdom Hearts 2, and Sora is supposed to be older in this game and a little more mature, so I want to see what's become of them. I want to see them older, and I want to see somewhat of a connection come between them. Roxas is part of Sora, like their hearts are combined. You got some really touching moments in Twilight Town with Sora setting a tear for those guys, so I'd love to see him go back, see what's going on in Twilight Town, and that's the reason why I want Twilight Town to make a return in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, moving on to the top 5 worlds that I want in Kingdom Hearts 3 that have never been seen before. Number 1, Toy Story. I would love to see Toy Story make an appearance in Kingdom Hearts 3. I think a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans want this. And something that's really cool about it, it's actually a Pixar movie. Let me say that first and foremost. Now, Disney owns Pixar, but there is some type of rights thing that Kingdom Hearts actually needs to get in order to do Pixar movies. So I'm hoping they take care of that, get it done. I want to see Toy Story and other Pixar movies because I don't want to say a lot of the Disney worlds are getting played out, but they're getting played out. I need some new worlds. And Toy Story, one of my favorite movies of all time. I'd love to see Woody, Buzz have some awesome costumes, have an awesome Keyblade for the Toy Story world. You know, you get to go to like Pizza Planet, and there'd be all kinds of cool little like mini games you could play in that world. I like Toy Story. Who doesn't like Toy Story? And I'd love to see that in Kingdom Hearts 3. Moving on to number 2, and this is something that I feel like I've wanted ever since the first Kingdom Hearts that they haven't given me, and I hope a lot of you guys agree with me out there. I want a Final Fantasy world. Now, Final Fantasy is a big part in Kingdom Hearts. You have a lot of different characters, and like all of the main characters, you know, Roxas, Sora, Riku, Kairi, they're all somewhat based off of Final Fantasy characters. And Square Enix, the developers of Kingdom Hearts and the makers, creators, whatever, they actually also make the Final Fantasy games. So how simple would it be to put some type of a Final Fantasy world in Kingdom Hearts 3? And I feel like because Sora is supposed to be older and more mature in this game, that fits right into a storyline of a Final Fantasy game, which is more mature content is for the older gamers. You know, it has much cooler settings, and I'd love to see that. And I think the Keyblades that you could get possibly in this world would just be so badass looking because all of the guys have awesome freaking swords or guns, and he's supposed to have transformations, so I think it's just like bong bong, you know what I'm saying? It would just fit perfectly into Kingdom Hearts 3. Going into number 3 is Star Wars. Now, this has been a big topic in the Kingdom Hearts community. Disney recently got the rights to Star Wars along with Marvel, and a lot of people want those two like worlds, I guess, in Kingdom Hearts 3. I definitely don't want Marvel. I feel like that's so out of place. Like, what's Sora gonna do? Go hang out with Thor and Iron Man? No, that's stupid. I don't care what you guys say. I think that's stupid. But Star Wars, that fit in perfectly. I want it. If they put Star Wars into Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't care what else they do. I just want to play in that world, and there's so many movies, so much content. It would be amazing as long as they don't do it like Pirates of the Caribbean, where they made them into like animated people and it looked awful. And just come on, guys, lightsaber Keyblade. Say it with me, lightsaber Keyblade. That would be amazing. They could do some type of thing where you're in your gummy ship in space and you come across a TIE fighter and you're following it and you go back to their base. Man, I love Star Wars, guys, and I would love to see it in Kingdom Hearts 3. Moving on to number 4. This is kind of one of my own ideas. It's a Disney Channel world where they could actually just have like some of the Disney Channel people just walking around in the world. Things that we all love about Disney, because as kids, Disney was kind of cool. Like, I'm 23 years old, and when I was younger, Disney Channel was actually pretty cool. I look at it nowadays, like, I still watch Cartoon Network and shit. They still have some good shows, but Disney, I hate the way they've become. It's become all like, you know, little kids, and they don't really go into animation anymore. But for my generation, 90s kids, like, come on guys, we definitely all want to see like Kim Possible walking around at a Kingdom Hearts game, or like Darkwing Duck, something like that, you know, the Gargoyles. It would just be kind of cool. It could be a little hub world where you just see Disney Channel people just walking around. I think it would be really interesting. Number 5. Now, this is a really interesting idea that I have to give a shout out to my buddy Basil. He gave me this idea, and I thought it was so cool that I had to add it into my video. Now, I've already talked about Toy Story being Pixar, and I wanted that Pixar worlds to get involved into Kingdom Hearts 3. But he actually came up with the idea that you could have a Pixar world that you go into, that you're actually putting together the Pixar theory. And I think that would be amazing. For you guys that don't know about the Pixar theory, definitely YouTube it, check it out. And basically what it is it's putting together all the Pixar movies into one solid timeline. All the little hidden Easter eggs, like the Pizza Planet car that's in almost every Pixar movie. You just check it out. I can't do it justice in a few seconds trying to talk about it. So if you guys don't know about the Pixar theory, definitely give it a check out on YouTube. But yeah, I think that there's like 0% chance that we're going to get this. But it is an interesting idea, and I just thought I'd throw it out there to get your guys' minds racing thinking about this. But Sora unlocking the Pixar theory, putting it all together, putting some validity to the idea. Like I said, there's almost no chance we're going to get it, but I thought it'd be a cool idea to throw out there. All right, guys. That's been my Kingdom Hearts discussion video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments and what videos you guys want me to do about Kingdom Hearts. Let me know what worlds you'd like to see in the Kingdom Hearts 3 universe. And if you guys have any interesting ideas, I'll definitely make sure to throw it in my next video and give you guys a little shout out. So until next time, guys, like, subscribe, and until next time, keep on keyblading.